Good morning and welcome to Peace Out, where we are all learning together to peace out. And it's becoming, okay, sometimes it's easier. Sometimes, honestly, it's still not easy, right? Sometimes because we want to be in control. I do anyway. I don't know about you, but I do. Say, hey, we got 2 more sleeps tonight and tomorrow night. What is today? Tuesday? Yeah, Thursday night we're going to start Making You a Leader. We're going to start this class. We're looking at Bible leaders. It's about developing as a leader, but we're looking at Bible leaders. So 4 top leaders in the Bible and some different scriptures, how they did good, how they messed up, because they had weaknesses, how they overcome them or didn't overcome them, things like that. So sign up for the class. It's going to be Thursday night. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's only going to be 6 weeks. You get the ebook and the 6 lessons, and it's going to be fun. So make sure you get signed up for the class. We're going to have a lot of fun dissecting the leaders in the Bible, because we don't want to dissect our own lives, right? We want to dissect their lives and see what they did good, what they did bad, what they could have done better, what they messed up, what they fixed up, all of those sort of things. So we're going to dive, kind of a deep dive into 4 different leaders in the Bible that may or may not be your favorite leader in the Bible. Doesn't matter, right? Anyway, I hope you're having a good morning. So yesterday, somewhere yesterday, I remember mentioning Goliath, and I had read the story of Goliath yesterday morning, David and Goliath. So this morning in my study time, I want to go back and read it one more time. And as I read it, I realized that David could have listened to a lot of different things as he was preparing to go take out Goliath. He had so many voices going on around him, telling him different things. The first voice he says he came to the camp as the army was going out to the fight and shouting for the battle. So that's the first thing he heard, was the army coming out and shouting, going to the battle. They were all excited. I don't know why, because Goliath had been coming out for several days, right? But he heard them readying themselves for the battle, psyching themselves out. If you've ever watched MMA, okay, maybe you haven't, but I like MMA. They psych themselves out. Yeah, I'm going to go get this guy. They psych and they get their energy up, and they get all those endorphins running through their bodies, and they're like all hyped up and like get that adrenaline flowing, and they're like, right? They're ready for the battle. So he heard the soldiers getting ready for the battle. That's kind of the first thing he heard. Then as he goes on, it says that as Goliath came out, let me go. I got to hit myself. So David, I'm in 1 Samuel 17, by the way. So David left his supplies with the supply keeper, went to the army, and came and greeted his brothers. As he talked to them, Goliath came out. And it says that he came out from the Philistines, and he spoke according to the same words, and David heard them. Goliath is saying, come on, fight me. Pick one guy to come fight me, which wasn't fair anyway, right? The devil's never going to fight fair. And he's never going to give you fair, rules of engagement. His rules of engagement is always going to be slanted on his benefit, whether you realize it or not. But it says David heard Goliath. And then he watched all these men who had come out all ready for battle, cheering, let's go get them. He watched them run away. It says they were dreadfully afraid in verse 24. And he was like, what is wrong with you guys? And they're like, did you not see that guy? Did you not see Goliath? Did you not see him? And he's going, I saw him and I heard him. So he said, so he heard them cheering for the battle, psyching themselves out, so to speak, getting their adrenaline up. Then he heard Goliath's blasphemous words towards them. And then he goes down and they're saying, it says whoever takes out Goliath gets the princess gets as a bride and gets all these riches, and their father's house is exempt from taxes for the rest of their lives and all that. And David's like, so he goes around going, what is it? What do you get when you take him out? What do you get? So he's listening to them, the soldiers, again, say what they get if they take out this giant, this blasphemous giant, right? Then he goes on. So then Eliab, his brother, and I think we talked about this a little bit yesterday, he was probably jealous because he had actually been there when Samuel anointed David as king. So Eliab has inside information here that he's not living by, right? But he ain't too smart. But anyway, and so then Eliab, his oldest brother, says, why did you even come down here? Did you just come down here? Did you just have pride? Where did you leave your little sheep? Where did you? And he's trying to put him down. David heard that. So David heard Goliath. He heard the shouts for the battle. he heard the men talking about what they got if they killed Goliath. And he hears his brother telling him, you're just a little shepherd. Go back to your place. You don't belong here with the men, basically. He heard that. He heard all of that, right? Then, as he was starting to get ready, he goes, hey, you know what? I'm going to go. They said, hey, there's a guy that the soldiers go to Saul and go, there's a dude down here asking what he gets if he takes out this giant. Says when Saul heard that, he said, come here. And here's what Saul said to David. The king said, you are not able to go against the Philistine to fight with him. You are a youth, and he is a man of war since he was your age. He's been fighting since he was your age. So he has all of these things coming against him. He hears all these different things. Saul telling him, you can't do it. You can't take out this giant. He's been fighting longer than you've been alive. You know, our enemy has too. Our enemy has been fighting mankind much longer than any of us can even imagine being alive, because he started way back 4,000, 5,000 years ago, however long ago, in the garden fighting Adam and Eve. He started so long ago, but it doesn't mean we can't take him out. It depends on who you want to listen to. So David gets it ready. Saul tries to put his armor on, doesn't work. He goes out. And then he comes out, and it says, David said to the Philistine. So Goliath comes out, and he's going, just send one man. He heard Goliath say this too. Am I a dog that you come at me with sticks? David heard that. David cursed, and the Philistine cursed David by his own gods, right? And then he said, come to me, let me feed you to the birds of the air and the beasts of the field. David heard all of these discouraging words. You're too young. You can't do it. He's bigger than you. He's smarter than you. He's more experienced than you. His brother's words, just go back with the sheep. Why did you even come up here? Just go take care of your little sheep, trying to put him back in that place. David heard all of that, but he was focused. David said, you come to me with a sword and a spear and a javelin. And we'll throw words in there too, right? Trying to discourage him. But I come to you in the name of the Lord. David didn't listen to the things he heard. You see, hearing something and listening to it are two different things. Because when you hear something, you hear it, you just kind of let it go. But when you listen to it, you let it take root in your heart. He didn't listen to Eliab, his jealous older brother. He didn't listen to Saul saying, he literally said, you are not able to do this, and yet he still let him do it, right? Because he was scared too, honestly. David says, I don't care about any of that. I'm coming to you in the name of the Lord of hosts, the God of the armies of Israel, who you have defiled. This day, the Lord. Now, I'm going to take you out. I don't know why I'm going to take you out. He said, I'm coming to you, and today God is going to deliver you into my hand. He said, you will deliver, and I will strike you, and I'll take your head from you, and I will give the carcasses of the camp of the Philistines to the birds of the air, the wild beasts of the earth, that all the earth may know there is a God in Israel. And he said, the battle is the Lord's. He will give you into our hands. And then I love the next thing David did, but let's pause for a second, okay? So David's heard all the negative talk. He's heard all of the positive talk. What do you get when you take this guy out? He's like, oh, that's a good deal. No, you're just a little shepherd. Go back to your little sheep. You're not big enough. You're not bad enough. You're not experienced enough. You can't defeat this enemy. And then Goliath coming out, well, am I a dog that you're sending this little boy to fight me? Why did you pick this one? Why did you pick him? You don't even respect me as a warrior to bring this little boy out here, right? David goes, I don't care. God's giving you into our hands today because the battle is the Lord. David didn't listen to any of the things he heard. He was focused on God and what God was going to do. And then I love this in verse 48. It says, he ran toward the army to meet the Philistine. Man, I wish they had GoPro back then, and he had could wear those, even a VR mask would be great, right? So we could get the enormity of that picture, because the Goliath, the giant, is standing right in front of him, and he's got the whole Philistine army behind him. And David has 5 little stones and a slingshot, and he ran toward the army. he's either going to die or take them out. And he is confident in what he knows about God. God, this battle is the Lord's, and I'm going to take you out today because God's going to deliver you, all y'all, into our hands. He didn't even, he could have said, I think I'll just go home. Y'all can just handle it. Go do what you want to do. Just sit here and shake every day. Be afraid of him every day. Or go try to fight him and die. I don't care. He could have gone home. They didn't have any confidence in him. They were sitting back, they were just sitting back listening to the giant every single day. And David says, this is God's battle. Why are you doing, why can't you let's just take him out. This is God's battle. But he ran to the army, and that had to be an amazing picture of this little guy running out, and there's a whole army across the hillside there, and Goliath is standing there in front of the army, and yet he ran to the battle because he knew it wasn't him. The battle was the Lord's, and he didn't listen to any voice but God's voice. That's how I want to fight today. I see the enemy. I know we all have enemies, and our enemies, thank God, aren't Goliath standing in front of us, right? A real person most of the time. Sometimes it can be, right? On the job and things like that. But we don't have to fear that. We don't have to listen to those that say we're not enough. We don't have to listen to the voices, even though we hear them. You can't do this. You can't handle this. You're not big enough. That your battles, your fight is bigger than what you can handle. Your enemy is bigger than what you can handle. He's been fighting long before you were ever born. Our enemy's been fighting. But we have to remind ourselves of this. The battle is the Lord's, and he will give the enemy into our hands. We've already won. God never said, get ready for the battle. Now you're going to lose. But it's going to be a learning experience. It's going to be all right. Never send anybody into the battle to lose, ever. We don't have to lose the battle. We do have to listen to God, what he says over what the enemy says, our brothers and family say, our king says, our government says, whatever anybody says. We want to listen to what God says and know that he is giving us the battle. Yes, and that's why I can peace out. Peace out, you guys. Have a great day. I hope I said something made sense, and I'll see you again tomorrow.